multi-sensory diamond experience delivered via the internet clears your mind, relaxes your body, and creates inner peace no matter what is going on around you. The Diamond Alignment experience effortlessly keeps you charged with joy and equanimity and greater focus and clarity throughout your day. When you experience the expansive energy of Diamond Alignment, you activate the unlimited wealth and potential within you.
Unlimited wealth and potential. I'll always take unlimited wealth and potential. If you have emotional stress clinging from the past, check out Dr., and that's all spelled out, DOCTOR, Valerie.com. For a free consultation, call 310-455-8623 and say you heard it on the radio. Check out Race for the Rainforest on the Waking Up in America website. You'll like it when you go over there. There's all kinds of little videos for you to play and current events and past shows. And also it's a good time to make sure that if you've got some spare blood around that you pass that over to the Red Cross. It's one thing you do know that it does save lives. You can count on that. Even 1 pint of blood, I guess, gets divided up for 3 people. Once again, want to thank EMSglobal1.org for sponsoring Waking Up in America this first Wednesday of each month, and I'm just delighted to have CW on the team here with Debbie and myself and Gail. So, Mr. Turner, we appreciate you and want our listeners to know that Bruce Curtis is actually going to be interviewing Tim this Friday on PRN, and that's Internet radio, isn't it?
Yes.
Tim? And that's
yes, it is.
It's 3 o'clock, but I don't know what time zone. Is that Eastern?
That is in Central Time Zone.
Oh, Central Time Zone. So 3 o'clock Central Time Zone, you'll get more of Mr. Turner here. You can come back to the website, and you can access all of our shows through the website. You can go to Voice America. Thank those guys for what it is that we're up to. Want to check out here that we have, really appreciate our other sponsors. We have Roberto's Bungalows in San Pancho, Mexico, Steve and Diana. They are just charming innkeepers. The place is a place that you'll go crazy over. It's like the world used to be about 50 years ago, and everybody's charming. The food's reasonable. The boarding is great, and the people are terrific. Call 971-239-4120. That's 971-239-4120, and let them know that you heard about it here on Waking Up in America. If you want to get a large mailing to a great bunch of people, you want to call Star Doves and talk to Ra at 828-665-0411. You can actually mail, gosh, I think it's got to be close to 80,000 people. Maybe a little bit more than that. The last time I heard that you can mail to all those people for very reasonable rates, and they're the cream of the crop. So once again, that's 828-665-0411. Now, with regards to that wonderful diamond alignment sound that you heard during the show, that's a divine transmission. You can actually go to our website, scroll down to the bottom of the page, and voila, you will actually be able to click on the insignia for diamond alignment and hear that tone. I recommend that you play it, actually. I like to keep it going in the background when I'm doing work on the computer. It keeps me much calmer. So we've been on the air with Dr. Debbie Ringchop, Gail Ellen, CW Wright, and Tim Turner, and we were just hearing the awful facts of Abraham Lincoln. Do you have any more awful facts for us, Tim, or are you going to lead us someplace more happy?
We're going to go into a better, happier time than that, but I'll finish up what I was saying about Abraham Lincoln. As I said, his real father was A.A. Springs, and his mother, he was an illegitimate son of A.A. Springs, and in those days it wasn't real good to have an illegitimate son, so his mother gave him the name Lincoln, and he, as you know, he was an attorney or a lawyer, and he did make it to the presidency, as everybody knows, and he was the president during the Civil War. And Civil War had nothing to do with slavery. Actually, he enslaved many people. It had everything to do with economics, and as a result of I teach about this a little bit in my classes. Right at about 1860 is the time that our bankruptcy was due, and they needed additional leverage, so to speak, or collateral to refinance the national debt because the bankruptcy had ended and it was time to reorganize. And so he wanted to take the public lands in the South and use that as collateral, and the South said no, and that's why the Civil War was held. And so he actually took the southern lands, public lands, and many of the private lands as well in those days. His friends ended up with many of it, lots of it. He ended up with lots of it. But anyway, right after the Civil War and after all this, the South was ransacked, and the property was collateralized to refinance the debt. The corporate government was created in 1868. In between the years 1868 through 71, they created a new constitution and a new form of government in America, and the American people never really knew that we incorporated our government. And then all the states were incorporated, and all the cities and the counties were incorporated.
But we didn't incorporate ourselves.
As nothing more than a corporation. And for those of you that don't believe that, all you have to do is go on Dun & Bradstreet and look up their DUNS numbers and look up their EIN numbers. They all have them. They are corporations. They have corporate filings. Okay, and you can go, even your courts are corporations. So everything you're dealing with is in corporations. And what do corporations do? They make money. And so the biggest source of revenue for this corporation, since it doesn't produce anything except more debt, is the people. We are their source of revenue. And so we went through this corporate system from 1871 until 1933, and there was another change in the government. And this time, we had another end of another bankruptcy period, and we collateralized not only the public lands again, recollateralized them for the national debt, but we also collateralized the private lands of the people.
So when you say collateralize, you actually mean put liens on, right?
Well, they borrowed money against it.
Yeah, that's what a lien is, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And
so all of our properties have liens on it without us even realizing it.
All have secret liens on them, yes. And they've been mortgaged. And it was done even if you own or you think you own your property outright. Stop paying your property taxes and see what happens. It will be sold for taxes, and they will take it from you. And at some point in time, depending on the laws of your state, you will lose your property because it didn't belong to you to begin with. It was only loaned to you. In fact, it says in most deeds that you're a tenant on the land. Okay, you don't own your vehicles. You don't own. If you go and buy a new car today and you pay cash for that car and you sign the paperwork, they send the manufacturer's certificate of origin, which is the real title for the car, to the state. And the state sends you back what, Val?
A registration. A registration and a tag.
And a certificate of title.
Right.
It is not a title. It is
not ownership.
A representation of the true title. Okay? It is what's called color of title. It looks like it and it acts like it, but it is not title. And it says, even in Florida, I saw this on one of them, in the lower left-hand corner on some of the titles in Florida, it even says, there may be other liens on this vehicle that are not recorded here. It's telling you right there what they're doing. And what they do is they create bonds on these titles, and they hold them for 5 years and invest them. It's the reason you can't get a title to the manufacturer's CO for your car for 5 years after you purchase it if you register it with the state. However,
but you don't even have
to
register, do you? I mean, technically, we don't even have to register with the state, do we?
There's no requirement to do that.
So how come you can get a ticket for it, not being registered?
Well, you get a ticket because the state owns it. When you originally purchased it, the original title was sent to the state, so it's the state's car now. It's not your car, and you have to abide by the rules because it's their car. That's
so, Debbie,
they can confiscate it, they can tow it, they can sell it.
I think Debbie should send her car to the state for repair.